Let's take a quick tour of this camera and check out all the buttons, knobs, lights, and all sorts of other fun things that are on it. So if we look at the front of the device first, you'll see the power button. This power button also doubles as a mode button. You can tap it once to turn the camera on. You don't have to hold it. You can just tap it quickly. Wait a moment, you'll hear the 3 beeps and you'll see the LCD screen on the front turn on. Now to turn the camera off again, you will have to hold it. You'll hold it for 3 seconds in order to turn the camera off. Because if you don't hold it for 3 seconds, tapping that power button while the camera is on will simply switch the mode. There's a few different modes that the camera can be on. If I tap that power button in the beginning, you'll see it'll switch between video, photo, multi-shot, playback, and settings mode, where you can get in there and make a few changes. So we've got this button serving double duty on the front. Now, also on the front of the camera, and I know it seems simple to point out, but we've got the lens. And you've got to be extra careful when this camera is not inside its protective casing, because you can't really put any filters on this lens or something, an ultraviolet filter, to protect it. You want to be really careful. You don't want to dust it off with just the random piece of your shirt or something. You could actually grind dust in there if you're not careful. So when you don't have it in its protective case, treat that lens really gingerly. Keep it nice and clean, nice and fresh. Then you can bang it around a little bit when it's inside that case, but not too much. All right. We've got a red camera status light on the front that lets us know when you've begun to record. So if I hit this record button on the top, you'll see a red status light appear on the front as well as on the top of the camera and in the back. And it will blink red to let you know that it's currently recording. You press the record button again to stop, and there we go. We can take those beeps out later on if they're not some things that you're really fond of. We've also got a wireless status light to let us know that the camera is in Wi-Fi mode. That's important because you don't want to leave it in Wi-Fi mode all the time. It'll suck down the battery, and one thing you'll notice, every little thing can suck down the battery, these guys, if you're not careful. So this button on the side, there's a little settings button, a little picture of a wrench. If you tap that, it opens up the settings menu. But once again, if you hold it for 3 seconds, you'll notice a little blue light appear, and that starts blinking to let you know that the camera is in Wi-Fi status mode. It can receive commands from the app or from the GoPro Wi-Fi remote as well. Anything that you've already paired it with, it can receive commands from. We can turn it off by simply holding that button down a bit. You'll see the blue light blink again and then disappear. So even though the camera natively itself does not come with an LCD screen on the back, a large screen with menus, these lights are pretty well designed to let you know what's going on. Now, moving right along, we've got the camera status screen on the front. So you've got a tiny little screen on the front that, if you're using an LCD touch pack for the back, is doubling the information. It's letting you know what's going on. So don't worry, if you don't have the LCD touch pack, everything you need is in the front of this camera. You can navigate through the settings menu by tapping the mode and the settings buttons, by holding buttons down, by using the record button. We'll talk about jumping around the settings menu a little bit later. But it's needless to say, it's actually a little bit easier with that LCD backpack. Or you can just hook up via Wi-Fi to your remote app on your phone and control it that way. Now, on the side, we've got ourselves a nice little HDMI port. It's a micro HDMI port. You can hook it up and watch 1080p video out onto your screen if you shot it in 1080p. If you shot it any higher, it's probably going to ratchet it down for you. So we can hook that up to watch a preview if you're not sure of what you want things to look like while you're shooting, or you could play back your videos afterwards on a large TV. We've also got access to a USB port. Now it's a micro USB port. However, they make an adapter that will switch that to 3.5mm microphone port. So if you want to get audio from a separate microphone, or you want to use a mixing board feed or something like that, you can actually get that adapter and use it. We've also got a micro SD slot there for your micro SD card that you'll be recording everything to on this GoPro. Now, not every single micro SD card will work the best for your uses. We'll talk about the differences between the regular cards, the UHS cards, and all the different ones a little bit down the road. But needless to say, it's good to have a fast card. We're going to take a look with this touch pack and the front LCD screen navigating the menus next and think about how to get around with this device. Let's check it out.